One. All right. Cool. I love waiting for the live stream to start because there's always that awkward moment where I'm like, it gives me the approval on Zoom, and it's always a couple seconds before I realize it. So it's always just me awkwardly counting down or saying, "Hey, we're live now." Anyway, what is up, everyone? Happy Monday. It is indeed May 16th, 2022, and we are back for another edition of the Stay at Home Open Mic presented by BWOMS. For the uninitiated, BWOMS stands for the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, and we are located in El Paso, Texas, here in the U.S. Southwest. Therefore, we're running by Mountain Time. We do have people joining us from other time zones, from coast to coast, and periodically we do have people join us from international spots, and it's always a lot of fun. Thanks to the nature of Zoom and technology, we're here to have a great time. Looks like I'm lagging a little bit on the stream. So let me see. Let me calm down a little bit. All right. Yes. So we are based out of El Paso, Texas. We have online open mics here every Monday. If you are returning, welcome back. It's great to have you. As always, I heavily encourage you guys to participate by joining us in the chat. Hit that like button. Sounds so cliche, right? YouTuber, hey guys, hit that like button, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. It's kind of part of the script. And the reason why we say that is just because what happens is when you do that, it gets pushed out to more people, and it's just kind of part of playing the game. Anyway, since this is virtual, instead of performing in front of like a physical audience that we can see and look into their eyes and see their expressions, how they respond to things, we have a virtual audience, including you, YouTube viewers. And so, your engagement with us is so important to let us know that you're here. So just say hello in the chat. Where are you listening in from? And of course, as always, like who do you enjoy? What topics did you find interesting? Did you learn anything new? What did you relate with, identify with? Those are always some of the great things about getting to experience art. So definitely, the more you interact, the better it is all around for all of us. Some of us do hang out in the live chat as well. So anyway, if this is your first time, you guys are more than welcome to do the same thing. Introduce yourself, say hi. It's great to have you guys. We do have a pretty full list of regulars, so you're gonna get to meet them tonight if you are again new. If you're here for extra credit, well, grades are due tomorrow, so it's like super last minute extra credit. Yeah, super. Not for me, by the way. I don't offer extra credit for these. I don't. Anyway, my name is Rich. I'm gonna be your host for tonight. Next week we'll hand the reins off to another dope poet, but for now I'll take the reins. I'll be introducing you to all our performers, all our poets, our writers, and getting to know a little bit more about them. And each performer gets 5 to 7 minutes to do their thing online, share their original poetry, their original writing, or of course something that we kind of do as a tradition is the cover poem. And so if anyone wants to share any work of someone that they admire or anything that's particularly thematic to what's going on in the world, or even just related to a holiday or day, definitely encourage people to share those as well, because it's a great way to discover other writers and other poets. Anyway, if you want to perform, there's still a little bit of space. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, go in the description of this video that you're watching right now, and you can find the link to sign up. This will be true of every single online show. As soon as I create a video for that live stream, you can always find the link to sign up in the description. So that's a little hint. And if you just want to be kept up to date, you can follow us online, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. If you type that in, we will show up. I've yet to see another Barbed Wire Open Mic around in the world, so that will most definitely be us. Anyway, we're gonna go and kick things off. I'm excited. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to kick back, relax, and enjoy people's art. And as we've done so often, so many times before on this show, we're going to kick things off in New York City, where we have someone who's been doing so much great work in terms of getting work published. It's amazing to see, and it's great to celebrate. As as a community, a virtual online poetry community. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage Deadpan Lizzie. What is going on? Rocking the beanie as always. What's going on? How you doing today?
Good to see everyone. It's been a minute, but I'm happy to be back. Yes, I'm very proud of all the work I'm putting out there and getting all these artists and authors published around the world and the country. You can find me on IG, ES_Strauss, and also drop that in the chat. I'm just gonna read one poem tonight. It's new shit. It's called Raspberry Light. The center of our galaxy, Sagittarius B2. They say as you force yourself closer to the center of the Milky Way, the flavors of raspberry begin to linger in your nostrils, the taste of rum intoxicating your tongue. I'll take raspberry seeping into my pores, helping me forget about the shit back on Earth. Rum only makes my head hurt and stomach ache, unless it's Rum Tum Tugger, the fictional feline who can make me smile. I leave the brown liquor with the creatures I cannot spend any more time figuring out. If I could sit in the crescent moon with a cup of black tea with just a hint of my favorite berry, the stars massaging me, jazz notes dancing around the solar system, perhaps I could feel at peace. Closing my eyes to thank our siblings from China for the gift of tea, praying as I sip on my nightly elixir that every child can enjoy this as much as me. The Sagittarius rising in me trying to uplift the rest of the world, but I myself am not strong enough sometimes to put out the flames that cause drama down below. The light is gentle up here in my moon. The more I look down, the faster my heart begins to race. Unhappy as I stare at the puddles of water they all keep ferociously splashing around in, I will stay in place with my tea until Apollo shines his face on me. Thank you.
Right on, right on, right on. Yes. And really quick, tell us about Deadpan Dope, because I was going to say that was a dope reading.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I host Deadpan Dope, but the word is right. Another platform here on YouTube and Facebook. Right, WRITE. It's every first and third Tuesdays of the month on Zoom, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that is tomorrow night. So I will be back hosting then. I hope all can join. It's for all mediums of art and beanies. And there are also Urban Cowboy Poet like that. And there's also programs every day and every night at the Word is Right, because we make sure that poetry and art continues to thrive almost 24/7. And just on another note, publications, I found out yesterday a monologue I wrote is going to be put in the drama bookshop here in New York City. For those who are familiar with that, it's a landmark and an institution here in New York City. I'm incredibly honored they chose to put something I wrote in there, and I will go visit it very soon. So like I said, IG ES_Strauss, where my website is, and to learn more about Deadpan Dope and me and everything I'm doing. Thanks so much.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Lizzie, everyone. And of course, always keeping it succinct to kick off the show. I love it. We got a great list. Looking forward to getting everyone on. And as I mentioned, everyone's going to share ways in which you can follow them. So if you're not already, it's one of the easiest things to do. Kind of keep up to date with what's going on with big news. So congratulations on that. That's excellent. The hits just keep on coming, huh? That's great. All right, so we're gonna go from New York City to Denver, because that is the magic of Zoom, very beautifully, just like that. And we're gonna go ahead and say hi to Mike Sindler, who is awesome regular that we just have to have here on Monday nights. What's going on, Mike? How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Just as always, want to put out the word for lighthousewriters.org. Always lots of classes and events and good stuff going on, but I especially want to mention the fact that Lit Fest, which is the annual wonderful festival, is going to be going on from June 10th to the 18th. There are a limited number of classes and workshops that are available on Zoom, but they're worth checking out. So when you go to this and go to Lit Fest, look for those if you like. But there are also a lot of things every single night of Lit Fest that are events that will be free on Zoom. So that's well worth checking out. I'm just going to do a couple of new pieces, both of which I'm still sort of working with, but I'll read them anyway. First one's called Beneath Our Heels. Beneath our heels, heavy booted or barefoot, conversing lace of root and mold of lines and lives, interconnected and electric, lay prone or supine, clothed or naked, pressing against earth, eyes shut, breathing in rhythm. Feel the language of terra firma as it dances, flickering from flora to flora, a vernacular of vegetation so unlike our own. Its vibration filling forests, laughing under lawn, tied together in tender terminology, indecipherable, undetermined telepathy. Press yourself into soil or soft grass carpet, hide between tall grain stalks hemmed into rows that reach like telegraph lines bearing news of nature along acres. Forget all that you can of surface, even as insects, curious creatures crawl in inspection, searching new mass for sustenance. Focus down into firmament, feel yourself grow roots, feel them dig through dirt to meet and mingle with mushroom and oak, sassafras and chinaberry, rhododendron and viburnum, iris and ivy and all that is green. Let your soul sing with substratum, let bacterium germinate a flowering sense of wonder, bloom and blossom in awed awareness of mutual dependency and community. Open eyes and rise, stand tall, stretch to sky, a shoot turn, sapling turn, tree drawing inspiration, returning adoration. Romance of root entwined in heart, stride on and carry love, subtle song of earth forever in your ear. And the second one I'm going to do is called History's Ride. And there's an epigram graph, and it says, "The sea is not a question of power." Adrian Rich. And if you're not familiar with Adrian Rich, just fantastic poet. Our histories ride over the wave, surfing its foam tip curve. Some slide onto civilization's crystalline shores and become the flotsam that is myth. Some sink deep under and drift down, forgotten tales littering the seabed of experience, clumping together like coral. This mass of lost memory waits for phantom divers never to descend, longs for light to filter over saga, slowly bleached, worn color of dying curiosity, endless blank, exhausted hours of black silence. Storytellers on the shore gather shells and stones, baubles smoothed into partition narrative detail, string them into ornamental oracle, offer them as understanding. Each bead settling uneasily in order between each an unseen chasm lies, obscure detritus held in deep holds, keys to connections without which no new wrought chronicle can be testament to time's treasured truth. Instead, a mere amalgam from azure, haphazard yield of gem and junk, poorly fastened facile choker, costume paste finery regarded as regalia will not reveal the true treasure entombed and undiscovered far below. And I will do as I always do and put on the hat. Took me a second there. And do a couple by another of my fave musicians. As you know, I tend to do a lot more lyrics than anything else as covers. And this is Robin Hitchcock. And this first one is called If You Were a Priest. If you were a priest, I would wait at least up until confession time and crawl into your box, breathing like a fox, hunting for obsession time. And I've thrown a lot of time away to be with you, so please don't lock away your eyes. If you were a nun, I would surely run way down to the hospital and cover all your charts with decorated hearts, a palpitating ritual. And I spent a lot of time on this to be like you, so please don't lock away your eyes. If you were a ghost, I would treasure most time I never spent with you and wander through your head, the words I never said, till I knew what I meant to you. And I spent a lot of time on this to be with you, so please don't lock away your eyes. Please don't lock away your eyes. Please don't lock away your eyes. And moving on, another by Mr. Hitchcock here. And this one is called Raymond Chandler Evening. It's a Raymond Chandler evening at the end of someone's day, and I'm standing in my pocket and I'm slowly turning gray. I remember what I told you, but I can't remember why. And all the yellow leaves are falling in a spiral from the sky. There's a body on the railings that I can't identify. And I'd like to reassure you, but I'm not that kind of guy. It's a Raymond Chandler evening, and the pavements are all wet, and I'm lurking in the shadows because it hasn't happened yet. Okay, thank y'all.
Awesome. I always appreciate the spotlight to all the lyricists you give there, the cover poems. Thank you, Mike. Awesome stuff. It's a great way to discover new musicians, new poets, new writers. That's why I appreciate the cover poems. Absolutely. All right. Sweet. Thank you, Mike. We are going to go ahead and keep this night rolling, where we have our next performer runs his own open mic space every other Monday called Cafe Generalissimo. In fact, I believe he had one today. Joining us today from Disney World, we have Generalissimo. What is going on? How you doing today, Brian?
Well, you know, all those sugary sweets they give me here at Disney World, and then I'm going to be living here for the rest of my life, so you know how it works out.
Right on, man.
Okay. Well, anyways, so Saturday I did a Tumble Words workshop, and there were 3 guest poets that read their poetry. The first was Christopher George. He read this really beautiful, sad, romantic poem called Traps, and there's a line in it that is one of my favorite lines of all time, which is you snapped me eating a tomato as if devouring your heart. Please excuse me for trying to do an accent. So this is called When Tomatoes Bleed. What if I were eating a turkey-hearted Thanksgiving supper with Auntie Lillian's famous mashed sweet potatoes and English peas? What if I were eating fried chicken hearts and gizzards with a side of cheese grits and fresh cooked turnip greens at Neighbor's Fried Chicken in Tillman's Corner, Alabama? My problem is that you devoured my heart the first time you said I love you, after I had been dumbstruck every time I wanted to say it to you. You gave my vocal cords permission to hire a skywriter to let the world know how I feel when I see you rounding the corner or when I hear your voice on all the voicemails I have saved on my cell phone. Your love has devoured my soul in the most unobtrusive, selfless manner. Somehow, whenever you take a quick bite, my soul regenerates itself to something altogether new. Waiting to devour yours, like that tomato. And at the during the workshop, I actually took. He mentions the Barbra Streisand song, "Kissing in the Rain," and so I actually took something from that to make this. It's called "When Me and Babs Made Snow Angels One Rainy Day." Step out of space and time. There's only one thing left to do. So if you wouldn't mind, kiss me in the rain. From "Kiss Me in the Rain" by Barbra Streisand. Yes, I have been kissed in the rain. It's a bit of a messier proposition than it looks like in the movies, but it's just as cathartic, maybe even more so. Sometimes rain is a great relief when it seems like it should just be the mess it is. It can break a heat wave or exacerbate the aroma of magnolia blossoms into a dizzying atmosphere. Yes, rain can kiss our lives with more than wet. Its simple presence can be a Huggies baby wipe for a miserable day or an untoward attitude. The reason why so many poets personify the rain, blame the rain, and even praise and deify the rain is because we cannot avoid that it will always reemerge in our lives and sometimes cause flooding and sometimes wash our cars when we need a car wash more than anything. Then this is from how I responded to Sky's the Limit's poem, which had this line in it: trying to return my shrapnel to its original sender. Concerning my first solo show at the Guggenheim, my being is rife with shrapnel made from ordnance that exploded as it entered my soul, multiple heartbreaks, lies that were never true, and mistakes I made on my own. To own my shrapnel will allow me to remove it via an experimental surgery not covered by insurance that can only be performed in the darkest of darkness whilst wearing night vision goggles. I will carefully remove said shrapnel with a variety of tweezers and surgical instruments, then dry it in a commercial dehydrator, allowing a rainbow of colorful enamels born of a bevy of emotions to bake in. Finally, I will arrange the shrapnel into a mosaic made of the past that cannot exist in the future. And Marissa did a poem called Dear Fear, and so I said to either write a letter or have a conversation or write a persona poem in the voice of an emotion or a feeling or an aspect of your personality. So the most expensive gift you bought yourself online on Black Friday. Allow me to introduce myself. I am your insecurity blanket. As a textile made from a combo of Pakistani cashmere, New Zealand merino wool, and Mongolian silk, I promise nothing that touches your skin or soul will feel more luxurious than me. Take your time to make all your decisions to the detriment of timeliness. When you wrap me around yourself, you will never freeze or sweat, but you will doubt the sincerity of all praise and compliments. I am here for you to generate skepticism concerning all the positivity that happens in your life. Hugs will feel like they are made of concrete. Kisses will be laced with acid. As a result, I will be the only option you have left after you've done everything wrong I have convinced you was right, so I can expand and encompass more of your aura unless and until you realize I am all in your mind. Thank you, everyone. And I'm just going to put my next Cafe Journalissimo is on the 30th, and on June 11th, I'm doing Dumping Grounds, and I put all that in the chat. So thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Richie and Kit, and of course, Robin, for giving us Kit.
Awesome stuff. Really quick, so how does the cafe work? Do you just like jump on in and then do you sign people up as they come in, or?
That's the way it usually works. Yeah, it opens up at 5:30. It starts around 5:45 for the reading. And just come in anytime you want, because it's a weird time of day. People are coming home from work or changing shifts or whatever. And so, you can come in, read a poem, then jump off and make yourself dinner. I don't care. As long as you're here, you read a poem, or you can just come and listen. A lot of people do that too. You know?
Excellent. That's a great idea. Thank you so much. And as always, thanks for holding that space. Appreciate that.
This space is one of my favorites.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah, so any links you post, I'll make sure to get on YouTube. Once again, what is up, YouTube? I saw Andres was there earlier. Let me take a quick look. Do we have anyone else? Yo. Okay, we got some other peeps on there. Again, say hi in the chat if you guys are tuning in. Let's go ahead and keep the night going. We're in fact gonna come to our hometown, and she's already been name dropped. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage Robin Schofield. Hey Robin, how are you tonight?
Hey guys, I'm pretty good. Yeah, it's been a warm day in El Paso. I think it got to 100 today, so, and the humidity is about 4%. So last night we had a big eclipse of the moon, and a long time ago I wrote a little poem about another eclipse of the moon, and it must have been 20 some years ago. Anyway, it's got the creative title Eclipse of the Moon. I point out the Pleiades and Orion. My sun shows me the red eye of Taurus. Relativity states that life is different for a younger twin who goes into space. Overhead is Sirius, brightest and second most useful star. Then Betelgeuse, red giant on one shoulder of the giant, Orion. Rigel, the blue supergiant, the other. The new metaphors of science reflect a reality we can't arrive at, except by the use of smoke and mirrors and a telescope. The light from the darkened moon seems to have drained into the stars, pouring liquid silver twice as bright to make up for the moon's absence of whiteness, pale orange, like the red rock desert's earth shine. All the reflections I know of distort and change, or do they clarify? If only we could see as the rattlesnake hears in infrared rays. The moon, untroubled by our shadowed hearts or our fascination, proceeds to wobble along by gravity waves. I knew so much more back then than I do now. Okay. And then I thought I would, I say I rarely write political poems, but I've actually written a couple lately, so I think I'll read them. At the table in the USA. The Koch brothers seemed so much like a myth, like fairy tale dragons, hoarding their black gold, discussing filthy lucre around their ornate, overwrought dining room table. But they weren't. They were real, filthy rich Ayn Rand libertarians, no concern for the common weal. Then there was this certain Pastor Jones of Florida burning President Obama in effigy and not getting in trouble. He moved on from burning Korans. He called him Hussein Obama as he sat at the head of his dinner table with his wife and children. On the other hand, we didn't call Bush Jr. president until the second term, when he was actually elected instead of chosen by the Supreme Court. Our Vietnamese exchange student, afraid the police might come any minute for what we said around the dinner table. Florida purges the voter rolls as the elderly sit around their diminished dinner tables. People of color haven't had much say at the table to begin with. A group of college kids sitting around a card table playing poker wonder why their blue city in Texas is divided into 4 safe Republican districts, ending hundreds of miles away. The Greeks invented democracy, yes, but also inherited slavery. Jefferson, no idealist, but one who pursued happiness. His writings never invited Sally Hemings to the dinner table. And Sally Hemings, as you know, was his slave. And they had children together. And Jefferson, you know, to his credit, I guess he acknowledged those children. But anyway, this one is called No Subservient Women. Abigail Smith Adams wrote to John, "Your set of laws should include us as well, or we should rise up and speak for ourselves, vote for ourselves, and own ourselves." John replied, "I cannot but laugh. It may have taken a century or two, but we are not chattel since the 1890s. We own ourselves and our property now. We can choose whether to have children. We can apply for a credit card since the 1970s, thanks to RBG, sorry. Don't we have rooms of our own now? She sheds and such. 3 centuries after our great-great-grandmothers like Susan B. Anthony went to jail for voting, the ownership of our bodies is again in doubt, assailed by pious men of dubious character in the Congress and above, demanding ultrasound wands be thrust up into our vaginas if we demand to own ourselves, including reproduction. Will the question never be over whether we can choose to have children or not? When we own ourselves, some men are afraid. When we own ourselves, our rights cannot be taken. Oh, but they can. They can be taken when 3 Catholics, a sexual harasser, and a rapist sit with the Supremes. When a seat has been stolen from the Democrats. When Alito quotes Matthew Hale from the 17th century, apologist for marital rape, persecutor of witches. Ladies, our rights aren't deeply rooted in history. We're barely in the books at all. It may be difficult in the face of the patriarchy, but we should rise up and speak for ourselves, vote for ourselves, and own ourselves. So those are my 2 political poems, and now I'm going to read a poem about the weather, kind of. So, just to change the mood a little bit, it's called Haboob Coming. Haboob is the Arabic word for sandstorm. We have a lot of sandstorms in the spring. Desert spring wind blasts sand into the sky so that you understand emptiness, how it stings. Even though no water runs in the river, can you still believe the heron finds minnows? Like the mockingbird, do you unleash your song tonight, or do you seek out silence? Do you miss the beloved's teases, or do you abide an absence in the spring? Autumn will come without your doing. The trees will be empty, the nests used. Will you be mute like the stars that do not light the earth? Now that mesquite thorns cover up the trail, do you still pretend to walk home? And then I want to do a cover poem from my friend Jennifer Clement. And this is from her new and selected poems. And it was originally from a book she called Newton's Sailor, which was a thought experiment that Einstein did. But this particular poem is about Madame Curie. And as you know, she got radiation poisoning. Madame Curie, since the rains began, you have become more feverish, Mistress Skeleton. You say, take the black sea urchin off the black piano. My hands are too burned, and wonder at the length of your tibia. Only some know of the birthmark, shaped like a hoof on the left side of your waist. Only a witch can turn white into red, they say. Inside glass cylinders, you find the milk light, heat in stones. You are too slim today, scented in radium salts and blue to carry the rings on your fingers. So Jennifer, she's really good.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you for that set. And gotta say, it was a treat. I can't say I've heard too many of your political poems. Those were great. Thanks for sharing.
Oh,
those.
thank you. Yeah, I don't write very many of them, but I had that poem about the Supreme Court, but I had to write a new ending to it.
I know, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
Hey. All right. So,
So.
do you have anything coming you'd like to promote, or at least for people?
No, not really. I don't have anything coming up. Just whatever's in El Paso. That's and I've got my book Flow still coming along. And you can write to me for that one. I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. Hold on. All right. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with going to El Paso to New Jersey. Terry Rose has a book coming out. Terry, what is going on? How are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm good.
The community. Did I catch you off guard?
Cleaning. Yeah, I was cleaning the kitchen, from top to bottom, doing some spring cleaning in the middle of the night when most people are asleep or online on poetry website.
Right.
I'm always busy. I'm doing like 20 things at once.
It's good.
I'm worried about how I can do 3 Zooms at one time. Even when I'm at work, I'm supposed to be doing a workshop. I'm doing 3 workshops at one time. Right now, this is the only workshop I'm on.
There you go.
I'm just trying to clean while I'm listening. So I have some new shit. My best friend, who can't stand to be alone but proudly exclaims she is single, as if that was what she really wants. It is not. My friend wants to go out with me so she can meet someone else to keep her company. The problem, you see, is I don't want to go. Why do I have so much trouble saying the word? Is it because I grew up with the idea that as a child, I should never be heard? I was trained with precision, never to say it. Insubordination was punished with violence, forbidden to contradict my drill sergeant's demands. So how do I reverse their commands? When this ingrained behavior is dismantling my boundaries, passive aggressive bricks need to tear down my Berlin Wall of compliance. Just say no, as if it was ever that easy. My single days, I used to cruise the scene like a pro, to and fro, no attachments. It was the unspoken and understood for those who know. How can my friend who is so hopelessly lost being alone ever understand this freedom of being her own? Man, perhaps she never can. And I have some haikus about the black hole. Boy, it's getting real windy outside and everything's starting to whip around and my dog's getting upset and barking, so you might hear her. Black hole. They tell us to think what created you and me. Was God a black hole? Obsessed with black holes, giant sphincter in the sky, once invisible. We spy with our eyes, scope of the earth allows to speak of a strange multiverse. Man blows holes in truth, tall tale creation story. God blows holes in man. I have more, but
I love the way that took.
meh. I don't feel like it. But so my book is called Chameleon Chronicles, and it's got a subtitle called Words Never Spoken. And it's coming out with the 15 newest books of the Red or Green press with Marissa Prada. I'm going to be going to New York. Anyway, I'm planning on it. I don't want to say definitely, but I'm planning on it and working on a place to stay. I have some things in the fire about that. I don't have anything like features or anything coming up lately. I really haven't been putting myself out there, but I'm taking a break, every now and then you need a breather. And if you want to pre-order my book, you can do that by contacting me either on Facebook or on Instagram. My Instagram handle is ifunniesmom on Instagram, and on Facebook is my name, Teresa Rose Jertson. And I have PayPal. It's terose.declameni@yahoo.com.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Well, we'll be here in the background while you're doing your thing. Check out Chameleon Chronicles and all the great things that Terry Rose is putting out. Looking forward to more of that. All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome to our Monday night online mic. We call it the Stay at Home Open Mic. Getting to create, perform, share, and network with people from the comfort of our homes. So hopefully you guys are comfortable. Maybe with a beverage of your choice, a snack, maybe well rested. Terry did touch on a great point, though. It is important to take that time to rest. Sometimes it's so easy to want to do everything and be everywhere, like even like you said at the beginning, like try and be on 3 Zooms at once and, have one thing going on over here and then painting with one hand and spray painting with the other. I don't know, it's crazy. So sometimes it's good to just slow things down, take that deep breath, rest, and then get back to it. We're all here for you in that sense. All right. It is the online show, which means we get to luckily be able to jump from coast to coast, from time zone to time zone, just like that. So we're going to go to the West Coast for the first time tonight, and we're going to stop by in Los Angeles, where we have the one and only Ideas Aubrey joining us on the mic, always coming full energy, full form, and of course he's rocking such a dope jacket tonight. Ideas, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. How you doing tonight?
All right, good. You guys can hear me.
We can hear you, but we lost you. The visual.
The visual's gone. Damn. It's been. Oh God, it's terrible. Yes, got me. Yes, got me. Let's go. All right. Thank you so much, Richie. And thank you so much for this amazing, great open mic. What's good, poet? What's good, poets? May 21st, 1989. See, that's a day for you. That's a day you can just wish. That's the day you were just born. That's the day your mother had just given you something beautiful inside this world. May 21st. See, those are chapters in your books you had worked in, felt in, accomplishment, and maybe an extra hurdle you had dropped in. See, those days when you looked at the calendar, you count on your days because May 21st, 1989. That's your birthday. The biggest moment of your life, the biggest accomplishments when you always wanted to sing yourself to the happy birthday to you. See, I want to blow those candles. See, I'm blowing those candles just for the friends I have touched, the friends I inspired, the friends I had listened, the things I had touched. I want to really see those in moments and see, I want to clap back myself together because I been there. Do you know those chapters, ideas? Those chapters you go back into your past. Just remember, you wasn't even a poet. You didn't even know this art. You never felt this art. You never changed this art. This art had given you something to read to believe yourself. Let me clock back the time. May 21st, 1989. Your father give you your first and middle and last name, but you haven't even seen him for 33 years. Yeah. My biological father. It's funny. I look back and I look back at that mirror. I'm a more bigger man than him. But I have a father. I don't call him my step. No, I call him my dad, my father. The one who taught me how to the value to become a man, the value to have a backbone, value to know what you need to live. See, I have a mother who really taught me. See, I was raised with 3 generations of women in my life. My mother, my great-grandma, and my nana. And I'm the oldest of 2 baby brothers. See, my life was not just something that I can get to walk and cradle with. My life is not something I look through. See, May 21st, 1989. See, I look forward to my birthday. I look forward at everything I speak. See, I celebrate my birthday the whole month of May. Because I get to spend time with my friends, my loved ones, my poetry family. See, I embodied this art and something infills me. It infills me become something different. See, I had survived 18. I survived 21, but God knowing age 22, I can just remember. Mama put you out the house. Yeah, those chapters. Do you remember your first day, that first night you was homeless? And you was walking through those sidewalks in Los Angeles. You didn't even know what was really going on with your life. So you didn't have a purpose. See, my first time living in a homeless shelter, and see, I was in Covering House, California. And that's how it started. That's how you try to recreate something. That's how you recreate something. See, my very first apartment was age 23. And I created those values. I created those teachings in myself. See, that's about being me. Tonight, I'm sharing you my story, my journey, the things I had gone through for all these great years in my life. When I would get the moment to wish that birthday candle, when I sing, happy birthday to you. I've been doing this game since I was 18. And I'll be 33. And that's the amazing of it. That's the embody of it. That's the love for it. That's when you become something so magical, so encrypted, so fearless when you walk on the stage. Because see, about me, poets, I love to encourage. I love to inspire. I love to write to that pen can just dry up to the ink inside my own truth during my fingernails. I can really tell you how my journey is of being Sean Aubrey, because that's really my real name. But now of that, my name is Ideas. I'll be 33 on Saturday. That's the most beautiful number. I just want to invite of myself. May 21st, 1989, my mother had given me birth. And she raised me in the most beautiful young age. She could have given me up, but she didn't. She had taught me so much of my life. So much I have give to her. And some good things she had give to me. And about me, I embody the words of poetry because it's something inside of me. It's a spirit. It's a fearless. It's something that when I come on the stage, on Zoom, on Instagram, or Facebook, even on a live, I put my blood, sweat, and tears on there because there's somebody out there in our audience really want to hear my voice. I enjoy this art. See, I was that young kid in high school, and I'd always look back in my memories. I look back in every moment of myself. I see a poet told me, write a poem about your birthday. And I did. I wrote about my past, my present, and my future goals. But my goals, when I sing happy birthday to, when I blow up those candles, I'm looking at all the accomplishments I had done all over my life. All the poets I surround myself through social media, from Facebook and Instagram and a little bit of IG. All the way I felt these art had really delivered a skill of me. All the ways that I know who I am. I enjoy being a poet. I enjoy being a spoken word artist. I enjoy to surround myself with my friends, my loved ones, and around the state by states. I enjoy becoming something so much different. I enjoy being who I am because I have found myself an identity. I have found myself a purpose and a calling. So when I wish those candles, I'm wishing the candles with all the folks I had surround myself, all the friends, all the family, and all my greatest accomplishments, because I know there's more goals in the new as a chapter. So ideas. So you really embody that book. You're starting a new number, 33. It is time to let 32 go away. It is time for you to climb an extra mountain, extra hurdle. It's time to know everything have you been through for these last great 30 years through this pandemic. You have become something so powerful through this might. You have fought through every burning hell to get yourself back to the stage. About me, my therapist told me, it's your will. It's that will of fire in you. It's that eye of the tiger. It's that lion in you. You do not give up. You do not bend a knee. You do not surrender. Do not put yourself down because your head is always up. So never say never. Never give up on a dream, a goal, or accomplishment, poets. Never give up what you really deliver into this mic or the venue you have spoken and something you have really give. I only can live once, but I want to live more and more and more. Because I know when my spirit goes, it will inspire to the next generation of poets, next generation of artists, next generation around this whole world. So when I'm gone, I still want to just to feel each of us, feel our own spirit bombs, feel our own true ways when we go through this mic. So when I wish happy birthday, I'm blowing the candles for all of us. Because my wish is always to be command. Because I enjoy being around with my family. I have a second family. It's my poetry family. And my mother and my father and my two brothers and my nana and all my family tree, I look up to them. So if you really watch this poem, just remember, when you wish happy birthday, when you blow out the candles, you're starting a new chapter for you. Peace and love. Ideas Aubrey.
Oh, damn, man. 33. Right on, man.
Right
Killer.
on.
Killer piece.
Right on.
All right. So you got a lot of places people can find you. If they just type in Ideas Aubrey in social media, they'll be able to find you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even your email, right? It's
Yeah.
pretty much the same all across the board, huh?
Yeah, I keep it easy for everybody. I keep it easy for everybody to find me. So I will link all that stuff on the chat so you guys can really follow me. But yeah, it's a cool thing you can do with Zoom. You can kind of like tag team on your phone. And here you go.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks for joining us today, man.
Anytime, brother.
Right on. Ideas Aubrey, everyone. Give it up. Make some noise. Throw some love in the chat that is on Zoom and YouTube. Awesome. In fact, I'm just realizing that you're sandwiched in between two Jersey peeps. So it's a sandwich full of ideas. But right now we're gonna go back to Jersey and bring up to the mic Nick Paleologos. What's going on, Nick? Hold on. I didn't. Yeah, you're on cam. That
I'm
means
on
you're good.
cam, yeah.
What's
We're good.
up?
We Gucci. We good.
What's up, man?
Yeah, no, it's been a day already, but it's all good. Now it's the last. Wow, my headset. I'm thinking I'm going deaf in one ear. That's great. Great. That's awesome. Anyways, it's good to be back. Here at BWOMS. Always good to be here. Great to see you again. Also, ideas too as well. How we were talking earlier. I'm like, oh shit, like you're gonna be here. Yeah, I'll be here too. Cool. All right, let's get into it. You want to hear my poetry? This first one actually is I got some new haikus actually. So here we go. Start with these. Animal Crossing. A way to say release stress by crafting island. Haiku. Give me some shelter. Shitstorm incoming from coast. Worse than the last one. And I'm going to pull out one poem right here and then I'll do one more and then we'll be done. This one was done in Generalissimo's workshop and it doesn't have a title. And I'm still kind of working on it, but here we go. Defeat is a taste that no one should experience. Unfortunate that we are forced to intake it in like scared sandwiches of sacred sacraments of fear shivers from cold's deadlock chokehold. Frozen contact mockery approaches with sinister smile. May night sky's aura envelop you. Take all the pain, wrap it tight in magic carpet, whisk it away like little whisper, like wisps whisper on wavelength of brave waves that cause megahertz, amplified by bullets of hate. Pop off they go. Pop off they go, like Atlanta, like Boulder, like Laguna Woods, like Buffalo and Orlando, like other bullets going at supersonic speed. Cold fronts fizzle by warm humidity. How many times do I have to preach love in order for someone to listen? How many guns does it take to find peace, America? How many coat hangers till you find light, America? How many wars until there is peace, America? How much is enough, America? Maybe you need a light taste of defeat, a little taste of your own medicine, of your own hatred. Know what you did in your failures in stopping senseless violence. And the last one that I'll do, I'll pull out something that's not as heavy-handed as my work was. I believe Ideas was talking about birthday, and actually, I don't normally do my birthday poem without like not being on my birthday, but I figured that I'll do it because Ideas' birthday is coming up, so. This is my birthday poem from last year. This one's called I Sailed the Seven Seas and I Want to Go Home. Did you know that I was a pirate before I was a cult leader? I feel like I've been on this journey for 31 years. I have a map that doesn't know its direction. I was a scallywag at birth, and even today I'm still landlubber. On my Jolly Roger marooned to the sea on an island without any clarity, I've been on both sides of a mutiny, to which I still sail the seven seas. Avast ye mateys, I have walked a plank to be fish food, to swim with the sharks and dolphins, for the pirates just to scream blimey. I was supposed to be a dead man that tells no tales. I lost count after my 5th near-death experience. Aye, they call for me. Arg is what I would have said. I've sailed through hell and back, came back stronger, and I know how to be grateful. We are buccos and buccaneers. We sang shanties of our journeys and funny stories. I have gambled on life, lost quite a few times. I broke tabletops of blackjack cards, caught 21 spades and 11 hearts to the chest. Took doubloons, loot, booty, and riches with me, buried them underground for better value. As I sail my seas with a pirate crew that I'm proud of. I know damn well that they're proud of me. For a 32nd time, I look at the revolver and watch it rotate and spin and hope that the blast isn't in the chamber, for I have fucked up my life enough. This pirate crew is the crew that is for me. We have bounties on our heads since we were born. Everyone thinks they can hit us broadside, but we crash and burn. We don't. We rise again with cutlasses in hands to pillage and plunder. Gonna take more than Molotov to incinerate us. Let's go, pirates, and let's take this world by storm. It's time for an uproar that won't be drowned out into the seas. Don't send me to Davy Jones' locker. Send me home and batten down the hatches, because we're gonna weather this storm. Now say it with me. Aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, Captain. I need some rest. After a few days and after the candles blown out and the cannons have been fired, it's time for an uproar. It's time for our uproar to last more than 32 years. As your cult leader, as Jersey Jesus, and more importantly, as Nick. Thank you.
Dope. I remember that one. That was cool to get you to bust that out. Props on the new one too. I heard like echoes of Allen Ginsberg on that one. America, I've given you all and now I'm nothing. Check it out. Pretty.
I get what you mean with that one. Yeah, I was like, this was from Generalissimo's workshop, and I was just working on that and everything because it was just like a small thing, and I just kind of been adding to it a little bit and everything. It's not quite finished; it's almost done, but it's there. It's getting there.
I don't know, man. What you got coming up this week that you'd like to promote or share?
Well, yes, I have 2 things coming up. One is my Right to the Mic is this Wednesday at 8:00 EDT with the word is right. The theme around this workshop is going to be around International Museum Day. So you should all come check that out and come for the workshop. And then after we're done, we have a live open mic afterwards and everything too as well. I'm also going to be running a vocabulary workshop soon too as well on the 23rd. And actually it's going to be based around Animal Crossing too as well. Like my first haiku alluded to. So it's going to be really interesting how that one's going to come out and everything like that. It's called Animal Crossing Over. That's what it's called. And if you want to just like, talk to me more about it, what you need to do and everything too, you can, IG is the real Nick P. My name right there is Facebook, Nick P. Logo's right there. So just come by, check it out, have fun. And yeah, I can look forward to more awesome people coming up here tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. As always, the real Nick P at the place to be. Go check him out on IG and support those mics. Thank you. All right. Cool. So we went from Jersey to LA, back to Jersey, and now we're going to come back home to El Paso, to Chuco Town, and bring up so many favorites here at the online mic and in our mics, but there is only one MV Lee. That's right. It's time. Let's go ahead and make some room on the mic for Lee Martinez Soto. What's up, Lee?
Hello. I have 3 poems today. Only one new one. All the other ones are old. So I'll start with the new one. And this is called Dream Nightmare. In the dream, we part ways. Your diligent push forward with my failing attempts at shadowing the trail of you're unintentionally left behind. In the dream, I lose you and I'm left stranded in the multitude of blurred faces, seeking hints to guide me back to you, but finding instead a slip in time, moving backwards. In the dream, I find myself confronted with the realization of inadequacy and the fear of being left behind, unwanted, a hindrance. In the dream, you are replaced by the ghosts of this heart's past, the memory of you forgotten by the bubbling, rising, crippling apprehension as the blurred ones don the faces of the bygone. In the dream, I am who I was back then. I know not of you, not of who I turned into, caught in the same old memories that almost made me lose myself, lose us. And when I wake up from this dream, turn nightmare, the creeping fear of ever going back gets a hold of me, claws to throat, feet to flesh, does not let go. That was the first one. The two other ones are old ones. This one. And this is in light of recent events going on in the United States and Texas with abortion rights. And then, of course, the goal of banning transgender people from existing, apparently. So the first one is, who taught you that? Who taught you that? Who advised you on the benefits of trapping us in swarms, upsetting us against each other as you watched from afar and laughed? Who told you being pinned down, hands in places you shamed, no permission given, trespassing made us wet? Who taught you that? Who demonstrated how to put your hands against our throats and choke the life out of us, long enough to see the halo shatter over your heads? Who tutored you on how to hate our existence while getting hot and bothered by our bodies? Who showed you the means to control us was to shame us? Who taught you that? Who showed you what you liked on who you liked it? Who told you to put to practice in every warm body you coveted? Who explained to you it is better to like it when we don't, that it is preferred we don't feel as you let yourself go? Who taught you that? Who showed you that anger made you memorize the names you call us, putas, fáciles, pirujas, the ways to debase us? Who mentored you so you would follow the same patterns we have seen time and time again? Same disregard, same hatred, different hands and different faces. Who taught you that? To walk the fragile thread of killing us or loving us. It is enough. It's been enough since the early days of your violence. Now the tongue of my mother will ignite you in words. The hands of my sisters cast the first stones against your heads, paint your faces red, and will show you how to feel shame. We will teach you now. That was the other one. And then the last one, this is one of my favorite to do at live shows. This is called Dear Cis People. Dear cis people, repeat after me. My pronouns are not preferred, optional, an alternative for you to ignore, overlook, change when you don't feel like believing me about who I am, when you don't really care for respecting, acknowledging my existence, when we argue and you seek a surefire way to shake me to my core. Dear cis people, it's been years since you last opened, let alone read any biology books, peer-reviewed journals, or even read or listened to the emotional labor that I and many others have screamed and cried at the top of our fucked up lungs. Biological genders is as wide as bare and buried as your excuses for why you pick and choose the words of a God not ours to abandon scared and lonesome children, gatekeep life's basic experiences, shock us into casting away who we are. Don't you think it's a little creepy to change your opinion about who I tell you I am based on your own assumptions? Like, why are you so obsessed with me and with what I hide under my shirt, under my pants, between my legs, tangled in these vocal cords? Don't you think it's a bit disturbing? Dear cis people, if I say my pronouns are they, them, my gender is chaotic neutral, the essence of that power trip of the fear that crosses bigoted assholes' faces when they see me stomping on these platform boots, torn up ties, paired up with high-waisted shorts, tight crop tops, these tattoos, pierced face, green hair, shaved sides, oh, the fucking euphoria. That is exactly what I mean. This is not an invitation for debating, questioning, or shoving your poorly informed beliefs my way. Dear cis people, my gender is not a personal attack on you. But please, do take this here by letter personally. This is about you. You know your names, your multiple slips that I will no longer pretend are mistakes, your pretense at allyship, hollow empathy, sympathy, followed by your barrage of endless dead naming, misgendering, and passive-aggressive bullshit jabs that do nothing but chip away at this already thin patience. So here's the end of it, dear cis people. I will now meet you at your level, stomp straight to the ground where you scurry away like pestering little cockroaches. Dear cis people, fuck around and find out. That's it.
Orale, that's it. That is, I'm always gonna comment on the mic drop feel of that last line. Thank you, Lee. This month you have the Borderland Rainbow Center, right? As well as June.
Yes. So I have a workshop on the 21st, which is this Saturday. I cannot pronounce shit today. It starts at 12, if I'm not mistaken. I'll post the information on the link on the comment section. But you can sign up. It is free. It is more focused towards like a healing workshop than it is to the writing workshop, but it is using writing as a means of healing. So if you're interested, I will be presenting some shadow work prompts. And again, it's free and online. And there you go. And that's my social media. You can follow me on Instagram as cadáveres_literarios, or on Facebook is Lee Martinez Soto. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lee, so much. That is one of many reasons you are the MV. Lee, the importance of your poems that you read there. Yeah, the great set. Also, recently I mentioned how I had the opportunity to visit Jefferson High School, and they had never heard of Cadáveres Literarios, and so we were able to thankfully share the video that you had made to talk about about writing them. So, got some high school students heeding your word, and learning about. So that's always great, to have share, I guess, in that way. But that's a great workshop. I'll make sure to share that as well on our networks. If you do have that link or registration on that, let us, if you want to share it, and I'll pass it as well on to my my contacts. All right, cool. We're gonna stick around in El Paso. Our next performer, you guys all know, he's been here since day one, and has really helped out so much in so many ways. He's gonna host next Monday, and his importance is just indicated by our awesome nickname we have for him. You guys already know it's Mr. Monday Night. It's time to welcome to the stage Kit Wren. What's up, Kit?
What's up, Richie? Hello. Oh, god damn. He's a hard act to follow. I don't know why I get so excited when I follow them, because I always am a letdown, but that's okay. That's fine. And let's see. So 3 of mine and then the cover poem. They're all old. You've all heard them. Whatever. It is morning and there is not another person in sight in the hiking trail just behind the library. There is still plenty of evidence of other people, like the signs that say in stilted, courteous language, snakes are part of the wilderness. Thanks. So apparently our beer bottles, Rolling Rock green, dispersed but not exactly hidden. So is a baseball field, thwarted yellow in the sun. Do the snakes play baseball? Must a 10th volunteer to stiffen and become the bats? Is he well liked, or is he resented for scheming to make himself indispensable? Do captains pick, or do the teams align by subspecies? I would hate to think that snakes are capable of the lies like ethnicity that we tell ourselves, that we let tell us where to put parks and where to put refineries. The wild is beginning to ape what it likes in us, and there's no telling how that could go. 2 javelinas were recently seen in an ATV playing Molly Hatchet on a first-gen iPod. But the only witness was a poet, wholly unreliable, subject to seeing only what he thinks someone else might see. All right, this one actually has a title. I titled some of these, only took years. This one's called Message Sent 2:36:57 a.m. Message Seen 2:36:59 a.m. A sudden dark thought propels me to send a message to a friend saying that I just want to make sure nobody spirited you off the streets of Portland into an unmarked van. When she replies quickly, I am able to pretend that it was a dark joke and not a mental image that I have had and can't shake, even as we continue to talk. She also kids on the square. She says she is too asthmatic to risk exposure to tear gas, no matter how close to her heart or her doorstep the conflict reaches. In this moment, I am briefly thankful for social media, for taking all the panic out of my panicked missives, turning my frightened whelps into nervous chuckles. We laugh at death to make him feel bad about himself. We want to demotivate him, make him move with a slower, more predictable gait. If we keep it up, we will make him resent his job and half-ass it. We will keep doing that even after it has been proven not to work, even after the tests come back and the low-grade fevers get closer and closer to my hermetic circle. Perhaps death has never actually been able to distinguish between mockery and encouragement and reads all of our words in the same flat tone. Perhaps I should not let my heart whisper furtive squirts of succor, but let it blast in steroidated pumps in arrhythmia loud enough to set off car alarms, to give all the people fighting urgent fights one secure moment, to disorganize the destroyers and acolytes of death for just long enough. I am not that powerful. I fear that I am not equal to this moment, but I know the people who are. I trust them with my affirming light. They live in the mountains. They hang hammocks with each end on a saguaro. They walk all day in forests without getting lost. They know that I know them. They know that I need them. They too fight the silence and aim their heartbeats carefully. And short one, kind of a change up, but I like this one. Of course you like this one, you wrote it, fuck you. Okay. I am changing all of my drafted memoirs back into poems because too many of you know my business. I want the ritual of public confession, but I don't want you to know what I did. I am much more comfortable answering, what does this mean, than what happens next. I don't want this poem to rise from the ground like a monolith, not between us, but beside us, and for us to circle around it, inspecting for the flaws that I have mistaken for nuance and character. And for the cover, I picked the person that I am going to do my next Tumble Words on July the 16th. Mark your calendars. I picked, you've heard this one before, but you're going to hear it again. This is my reading time. I get to decide what happens. This is A Song on the End of the World by Czeslaw Milosz. On the day the world ends, a bee circles a clover, a fisherman mends a glimmering net, happy porpoises jump in the sea. By the rainspout, young sparrows are playing, and the snake is gold-skinned as it should always be. On the day the world ends, women walk through the fields under their umbrellas. A drunkard grows sleepy at the edge of a lawn. Vegetable peddlers shout in the street, and a yellowed sailboat comes nearer the island. The voice of a violin lasts in the air and leads into a starry night. And those who expected lightning and thunder are disappointed. And those who expected signs and archangels' trumps do not believe it is happening now. As long as the sun and the moon are above, as long as the bumblebee visits a rose, as long as rosy infants are born, no one believes it is happening now. Only a white-haired man who would be a prophet, yet is not a prophet, for he's much too busy, repeats while he binds his tomatoes, there will be no other end of the world. There will be no other end of the world.
All right. What up, Kit? How you doing, man? Go ahead and share that sheet you have there.
I keep saying I'm going to print a new one, and I keep lying. Sing along if you know the words. Instagram at Kit Ran Away, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports. Don't worry about this one until like September. You can find me on Facebook easy enough. You can send me an email. You can go to PayPal, drop something in the tip jar, connect it to my email. Tumble Awards this Saturday will be hosted by Kenneth Latimer, who you saw here a couple weeks ago. We'll see how that goes. No Tumble Awards the week after because of Memorial Day weekend. Friday, BWOMS in person will be at Craft Rhythm and Brew out in Central. If you're local, show up. If you're not local, drive really fast. And I'll see you here next week as your MC. All right.
Oh, yeah, man. Alrighty then. I love it. Thank you, Kit. Yes, you heard that right. If you are watching and you're in El Paso, check us out live in person this Friday at Craft Rhythm and Brews, South Central El Paso, 1301 Texas. It's a craft brewery. They have a food truck, delicious pork dishes, tacos, things like that. Local brews. They have soda as well and water, other options. And right next door just opened up a distillery, a local distillery. So they're brewing their own, or distilling their own tequilas, whiskeys, working on all sorts of interesting drinks there. Come through, hang out. It's Friday, so we get to enjoy the weekend. But if you're not free, again, if you follow us online at the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, we have other events all throughout the month. And of course, if you're not from here, you don't live around the area, if you're ever traveling through, hit us up and we will work something out with you guys. Make an event, make something happen, Alrighty then. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Lee. We are going to continue on and move from EP to the land of Cleves. That's right. He's been making it a lot more often, which is always great. Let's go ahead and welcome the urban cowboy poet, UCP. What's going on? How you doing, Greg? All right. Let's see. There
myself. I'm doing good. I passed through El Paso a few months back. Had a good time with you guys. I recommend it. Go pass through El Paso. I'm got a book coming too. I'm in the first 15 in Red or Green Books, the notorious RGB. And I just got in the last minute and I sent him my first draft of manuscript, and I thought the number of legends wasn't quite right. And I looked just when I was getting ready to go on tonight, I realized I left one out. And I gotta send it to Marissa and stick it in the book. So I'll do that one now. If I can stop my nose from bothering me. Suicide by murder. Manhattan cops see a lot of deaths, but some can still surprise. Take the case of Ronald Opus, who jumped from a high-rise. If you'd have guessed he'd splattered in the street, you'd lose that bet. Around the 7th floor, some window washers hung a safety net. When the fire department reached him, they had hopes that he were dead. But although the net had stopped his fall, he'd been shot plumb full of lead. The poor boy had died anyway. What made it really sad was that it happened outside the flat of Ronald's mom and dad. Now, Ronald's parents were famous for being mean and rich. Mom disinherited Ron. Dad called her a bitch. The elder Opus led a pretty volatile kind of life. Every couple of weeks or so, he'd threaten to kill his wife. He'd shoot her with a shotgun, which he'd always kept unloaded. On this particular tragic day, the weapon done exploded. The shot went through the window, just a couple stories down from where Opus Jr. had began his planned trip to the ground. Ronald had failed at jumping to death, but still the boy was gone. Now it looks like he's been murdered, but who could they pin it on? I never loaded that weapon, is the story his father tells. And some mysterious enemy inserted the shotgun shells. The police wanted to charge the father with some kind of crime. His wife declared, he's innocent. He does this all the time. The old man claimed, it's just a game. The makeup sex is fun. Neither one of them had the slightest clue as to who had loaded the gun. There was, in fact, a suicide note, as the police had predicted. Ronald had gotten tired of being poor and drug addicted. His first plan was to load the gun he knew his dad would shoot. With his mother dead and dad in jail, he'd inherit the family loot. But time went by, no murder occurred, Ron couldn't wait no more. He reserved to end his life by leaping from the 11th floor. The Opuses had read the note, which sparked that evening's fight. So Ronald had directed his own demise. The timing was just right. He planned a murder, then a suicide. I left that, and though the plot was, I'm sorry, I messed this all up. He planned a murder, then a suicide, and though the plot got twisted, he succeeded at both, with only one Vic, if not quite unassisted. The ME ruled it suicide, strangest case he ever seen. To elect the man had offed himself with a Rube Goldberg machine. Thank you.
The effective Rube Goldberg.
Yeah.
Isn't the point is that they never work?
Line, but that was most of it.
Awesome, awesome. And also I got to give UCP some props for earlier when I introduced ideas. And I said the one and only, but he was on here twice.
Yeah.
So it was a lie.
Only.
My bad.
So anyway, I'm not ready for pre-orders yet, babe. Not even got the whole book in yet, but it's coming out, and I want to go to New York too for the festival, for the unveiling or whatever it is.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, people can also follow you online by just typing in Urban Cowboy Poetry, right?
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook.
YouTube.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you.
Sweet. That's right. If you guys aren't already doing so, go follow Urban Cowboy Poetry in those spots. I've already mentioned a couple times, but as soon as I turn in final grades, I've got a lot of videos to catch up on, including Urban Cowboy Poets. It's going to be really cool. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to keep going. We're going at it. It's Monday night here with us, BWOMS, Stay at Home Open Mic. And we're going to go ahead and go from Cleveland to DC, where it's time to get fantastic. That's right. Next up on the mic, it's Mr. Poetastic. Ed in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing tonight. Oh, I'm feeling such a delight. Thank you for making my Monday nights. Woo, cheers, my hermano, and many more. Thank you for filling my core. Thank you, Richie, for being the fire inside of me. You always fill my Mondays with glee. Yay for poetry! All right, my name is Ed Potastical, and you're feeling fantastic. Please get a time to enjoy my rhyme, for I feel sublime. I got 6 jokes and 3 poems, so you know they're gonna rhyme. The first joke is, why was the toilet expelled from school? He had a potty mouth. What did the elephant say to the bellboy? Put it in this trunk, not that trunk. Why was the sloth so late why was the sloth so late at work? He had a slow start Why was the horses banned from the pool? They couldn't stop horsing around. Why did the kangaroo ban house parties? The guests were hopping mad. And the last one was, why was the alligator mad at his ID? He wasn't an alligator, but a crocodile. All right, hope you enjoyed those. I got my first poem. My first poem is called Let It Be. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. 'Cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, this time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Oh, this time we'll take it slow. Thank you. Let your crystal glow while darkness explode. Let doubts be low while teardrops flow. Let scars bellow while anguish be snow. Let pain be crows while regrets be plateaus. Let cries be yo-yos while sufferer be throws. Let disappointment implode while chaos be dull. Let terror be a buffalo while fear be a marshmallow. Let ignorance be a scarecrow while stupidity be undertow. Let revenge be a video while sorrow be a slideshow. Let evil be tic-tac-toe while violence be a fashion show. Let grief be a happy hello while misery be a banjo. Let madness be sourdough while hate be a game show. Let depression be Cupid's bow while sadness be a no-no. Let forgiveness be a radio while love be a talk show. Let life be a huge stereo while you be a big mistletoe. Thank you. All right, I got one more story. This is called the Starlight Road. Oh, luminous light, the light I see tonight, a star cover in white, doesn't clash by despite. Oh, the rain at night, marvel how it ignites, offering up some insight, fly higher than a kite. Shining in the dead midnight is a privilege and birthright. Let it hover like a satellite, explode it like dynamite. Let it flare like a snake bite. You can be a flame or a social light to burn the blackened parasites. Shine your luminous flashlight. Don't forget, keep your sun tight with all your heart and might. In the pitch black night, let it reach newer heights to exterminate the villainous spite. Under our blind sight, we have to prepare for the bullfights. We need to put up a fight. I hate to scratch or bite. It's not friendly or polite. Don't be too mad or uptight. Drink the mocks and smite. In the hours, midnights, days of tonight's, welcome the shady fights. Let them fuel your sunlight to shine it shiny and bright. It's a pure righteous delight to fight for what is right in the starlight. Thank you. I got one more story for Encore. This is called Symphony of Poetry. Poetry is lively than any sunflower or rose, while any explanation or logic goes. The sweet symphony of pure creativity, so appreciate the effects and its sensitivity. Sharp words fire straight to the heart, rain down through skies of vivid art. Each word is covered in emotions, like fish dancing in a clear ocean, seated in a bouquet of colorful flowers, blossoming in a magnificent array of power. Writing, reading, like dancing and singing, the parade of words is only the beginning. Notebooks teleporting us into literally world, pages jumping off insightful and delightful spirals, shared by concrete or imaginative minds, lessons growing in very, very personal design. The pleasures of constant desirable writing, patterns of free verse, limerick, haiku, or rhyming, reinventing tales of new, personal, and old, polishing them to shine like luminous gold. Oh, poetry, you allure me with your verbal melody, ears full of whirly fireworks to complete harmony. The lines sown in this ugly yet beautiful universe, flowing words of true verse going straight on course. Please downpour us a radiant sight of weather. Shower us till you're redder or feel even better. Thank you.
All righty, man. Awesome. You got anything coming up this week or anything you'd like to promote?
I like to promote this awesome mic that makes everyone's night such a delight, that keeps us up all night. Woo!
I appreciate your energy, even though it's like already like midnight for you, man. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate you always for coming through.
Appreciate you too. Thank you for making me feel every color but blue.
Yo, sometimes the blues is a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, check him out, Ed Poetastic, anytime the mic is right. Yo, alrighty then. Looking at the list here, we are winding down a little faster than usual, which is fine by me because I still gotta finish some grades. But for now, we're gonna go to back to LA. We're gonna get some poetry, some music from Mr. Tesosomok, who is here with us tonight. And as always, I'm interested to see what he's gonna bring along. All right, Tess, how you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I have two pieces. One is an old one that is appropriate for the moment. I know they're doing all the analysis, and they were saying the Buffalo shooting was inspired by the conspiracy theory of the replacement, or the great replacement as they call it. And its origin is actually in California from the 187 days when they tried, when everything that's happening right now and the rest of the country happened to us back in a while back when we had Pito Wilson and all those crazy people trying to do all the things they're doing now. And everybody was like, well, we're done with it. But the conspiracy, the great replacement, has some history in LA, specifically through Stephen Miller, which was a topic of discussion earlier. But this piece is titled The Great Replacement. And obviously the conspiracy theory itself, it goes back all the way to the time of the Jews in Egypt, where the Jews were considered to replace the Egyptians. That's how they were killing them. And then in General Maximo's time, in when the Jews and the Christians in Spain, there was the replacement theory there. And we've had this lingering conspiracy theory going on, but this one here is inspired by a speech that was given by Paul Gilroy. If any of you have ever, if you haven't read Paul Gilroy, I highly recommend. He received he gave the 2019 Holberg lecture titled "Never Again: Refusing Race and Salvaging the Human." And many of the topics that are in this paper are taken from that particular acceptance speech. And I wrote this back in July 5, 2019. So it's been a little bit, it's had time to age, and it hasn't aged well because the topic keeps coming back. The ideal subject of totalitarianism is people for whom the distinction between fact and fiction, true and false, no longer exists. Hannah Arendt, epitaph. You've just joined us on this great circus, a circus of democratic regulation, ultra-nationalism, populism, and xenophobia, and whatever other corrosive political meanderings. The three-ring circus of radicalized group identity, racism, and the pathological hunger for national rebirth and a restoration for nostalgic political times. The showmen of combined resentfulness and belligerent authoritarianism faced with alterity and expected hospitality. The chicanery of clownish gestures and their distractions of evasive and dubious technical political forces of austere conditions from lived and experienced anxieties. The minstrel generic conceptions of racial identity central to the American empire, who have generated significant international currency and blazoned by signature racial habits of the North Atlantic slave trade, whose final product is the world only in black and white. The Chinese yo-yo of personal whiteness through the attractiveness of generic racial identities in our psychopolitical ossified culture, The ventriloquist invocation of whiteness with its freighted notions of victimage and vulnerability, the stilt walking face of existential threats, varnished on the Trojan horse of immigrant fertility, and the social licking encroachment of alien influences from the global south, and the browning shadows over the land. The pantomime vivid images of invasion and demographic warfare branded. What a circus, wouldn't you agree? An unlikely, uneasy alliance of trolls, misogynists, meninists, ethno-nationalists, xenophobes, and cultural reactionary conservatives. The ringmaster of surveillance capitalism and the technological security complex have exited stage left, curtains down on the weaponization of culture. Standing room only, folks, trying to resist the looming existential catastrophe. They like to call this great show the Great Replacement. So that's that piece. And I'm going to coattail off on a couple of people, particularly Terry was talking about black holes and stuff. And then I just finished a piece. Let me find it here. Titled Performative Entropy. My system is running slow. Come on. Ah, that wasn't it. Give me a second. I'm struggling finding this piece that I just finished.
No worries.
Okay, here, I think I found it. Okay. So what I think central to the core of the question is, what is the cost of trying to resist so much social change? And I think in California from the 1980s and 90s and 2000s, we really saw the political price that the right really paid, that it polarized California so much that they just really completely lost everything there. So I'm going to try to, it originally was titled Performative Patronage, but the poem didn't go somewhere else. So I let it go, or go there. So we ended up with Performative Entropy. Here we go. We long for the sensibility of the other, the relation of the other, feeling together or sympathy, how to be together, live together, to stand each other, and to stand together across profound differences, across conflicts of interest. To secure unity in desire for a common future, a common ground, a feeling together. What if we're unable to love things together? Shall the reflexive be we can't love ourselves? For the minions of self-care and self-love, loving ourselves is loving together, loving other things other than ourselves. While we live in technologically fabricated societies, ultimately, what culture do we live in? We are modulated audiovisually, digitally via conscious, unconscious rhythms of our bodies and semiotics. Marketing has invented the economics of lifetime value. We aim to discover the future bearing of the massive industrial transformation of society, new communal sensibility, a discovery of an and other feeling. Suddenly struck one day by the terrifying clarity that some voted for whom you feel nothing for, no common and other feeling. These men and women, these young people have no feeling for what is happening in your life, your concerns. And for this reason, they no longer feel a part of society. They inhabit another zone, some form of organization, low college, low wage, no CRT, low white collar, commercial, neoliberal, post-industrial, industrial, birth-centric, not life support-centric, control the innies, not the outies, and even the sheeple red state rural, a world no longer engaging. The semiotic political catastrophe from severe symbolic misery. A collection of people are matter, and by fact of nature constitute mass. A collection of mass keeps doing what it does until there is a force that changes it. The measure of social change is mass. Greater mass resists change. First count, collectivities of mass will continue their current state unless acted upon. Second count, some social movements define their acceleration, velocity, force of mass, and through their mass of their collectivity. Third count, an equal force acts on the original collectivity at any time. A force acts from one collectivity to another one. The inertia of social rest or motion refers to the inability of collectivities to change their states. Entropy, the universal law, says how collectivity force is gradually lost, bringing everything to its original state. There's an essentialist assumption there, of course. If our continent had a social big bang, it would be the catastrophic colonial project and the transatlantic trade, making a dent in the millionth of the entropy of the universe in Boltzmann units, where in the past, most of it had been from matter and radiation, particularly Hawking's radiation. For a small instance of time, the number of complex social collectives were reduced under the central and total ages of empire. Social entropy measures the number of possible social arrangements of a constituted social system. There is a cost to maintain a social order. There is a cost in preventing another one from coming into being. There is a cost in reversing a social order with a low entropy. At the end of the day, someone is paying for the social drift. You can accept it for free or go with it with the dissipation of order. You can mitigate it and minimize it at a cost via putative fines and taxation. You can fight it and try to reverse it. This will cost the mitigation of your entropy, the entropy of the resisting another group's order, and the entropy of their resistance. In the cosmic epochs, Western thought since 300 AD has opted for the polarizing project of a singularity, constantly cancerously growing into a metastasized totality. Black holes as cancerous totalities and were not part of the birth of the universe. They were grown. Once society falls into a black hole, it will inevitably arrive at a singularity. The number of social arrangements are directly proportional to the masses in the black hole. So the more black holes you form, the more massive the black holes get. And so the social entropy grows tremendously in the universe. Black holes have finite life out of Hawking radiation. The last second of a black hole, the last 1 second with a mass of a blue whale with a temperature of 5.6 times 10 to the 17 Kelvin, the total energy of all the radiation will emit 5 million megatons of TNT. The amount of energy is 1,000 times the nuclear arsenal of all the nations on Earth, about 1.4 times the total solar energy hitting the surface of the Earth in a day. And peace. So folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. I don't really, I was trying to get a song ready, but I don't think I'm fully prepped.
Alrighty then. Awesome, man. Oh man. All right, cool. Performative entropy. Thank you for that. Cool stuff.
Another bumper T-shirt jacket title for you.
There you go. Exactly. All right. Thank you so much for coming through. We do have yeah. I want to give a shout out to everyone who just kind of joined in just to check it out. You know, Tanish just jumped in, checking it out. I want to give you a shout out though, really quick. Vale as well. What's up? You're good? Awesome. Okay, cool. And Stacy, we got Stacy Dyson, who signed up a couple times and we've missed you. But yes, if you want to perform, Stacy, go ahead and let us know in the chat because we are getting towards the end of the mic at this moment. Yeah. So I'm gonna read a couple of cover poems and then I'll take a look at the chat and see what you guys have said, and then then we'll go to our closer, as you guys already know. So I was looking through my books that I had here on my desk, and I just wanted to just share a little bit more of my friends' work who don't get to make it as often, including Gris Munoz, who is an awesome, superb writer. She does great work for Paso, and I think she is currently reading for Flower Song submissions. So this one's very short. It's called Rivers. There are rivers, crystalline and finely twisted, spanning out like blazing bolts of lightning, gliding, slicing through the darkened earth. Rivers that end up bent at the waist, choked dry by decisions men make. Yeah, I kind of like that one. It's a good piece. Short story. There's a lot of short stories in there. And some poetry sprinkled in. Pretty cool stuff. All right, cool. Yes, hello. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. Good to have you. Yeah, we've missed you. But I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you soon. Okay, this is from another El Paso writer, Nancy Lechuga. She's currently living in South Korea with her husband, Luis. Luis, who has performed here before, and I guess just recently got hacked. Man, I hate those Instagram hacks where they try and sell you on crypto and all that stuff. Anyway, this is her chapbook, Nancy Lechuga. It's called She King, and this poem's called In This Parallel Universe. In this parallel universe, I am an avid collector, the crazy witch lady who lives next door with shelves and shelves filled with glassware and jars overfilling with memories and the earth's success. Jars with dead star carcasses and imagined kisses, homemade peanut butter for my lover, unfulfilled thrusts, old tin cans filled with lagañas, premature ejaculations, and cardboard boxes of unspoken words and musty tears. My little home is lovely, a living structure of adjectives and the walls of 20 hearts, dangling participles, dried up umbilical cords, and strings of garlic hanging from a wooden roof. Wreaths made of pubic hair and miscalculations, poem lines weaved onto my chain link fence, pending orgasms in my space rack, desires inside drums, choreographies in Ziploc bags, prayers in teacups, and communist manifestos next to cookie recipes and bank statements. My mother is my daughter, and my daughter, my grandmother. Here, you will often spot me at your local library during discarded book sales, buying thick, outdated encyclopedias to which carve out a deep square to use as a hiding space for my father's secrets. I am the lady with the cluttered backyard, with piles upon piles of used tires to store my lover's eyelashes, their lies, their feeble hugs, their liquid fears, their sour fists, their candid tricks. In my many cabinets, I keep love potions next to the ammonia and the orange juice, marriage vows and broken carburetors behind my iron pots and cauldrons, broken promises. And on full moons, I burn misunderstandings, bury black eyes and bloody lips, make necklaces from oppression, soups from heartbreaks, and stuff my many orifices of my many bodies with my lover's scent. In this parallel universe, I build the yellow brick road and think about a world in which I am just a dreamy poet. All right, that's in this parallel universe. Nancy. And the last one. This is called Kiss Me. Kiss me inside circular vowels on the warm gravel of a semi-busy street, inside an aging orange. Kiss me on top of a 67-year-old poplar tree, and I'll sing green and blue notes and perhaps reinvent the wheel. Let's make our home inside a viola. May the strings protect us from the rain. Mambo on the tip of my tongue with possibility. Draw on my irrelevant nipples with chalk. Kiss me, my little electron. Don't forget to lock the door as soon as you enter. Me and we will be here kissing until this damn sun finally decides to explode. All right, that's it for me today. Just wanted to share two of my friend authors, Gris Munoz and Nancy Lechuga. Yeah, as always, we're here every Monday. With that said, we are going to go ahead and close things up with Dan the Man, Daniel the Manual, but he's so automatic, ready to go. Oh, it's so dark, man.
Yeah, I know.
All right, slipping into darkness. Okay, that would be an intro if I were DJing the show. All right, Dan, go ahead and take it away. It's all you.
Okay, I'm gonna make it short. I'm gonna do one poem for this. I'm gonna do one poetry for this time. From the bordercensus.com, spring 2006, volume 11. Page 23, by Jeffrey Alfier, Courting the Diversions. All right, here we go. Courting the Diversions. Itinerant hawks own these paltry roads, dragging their dry and languid silhouettes over the bone-white sulfur of dead lakes. I stopped for booze halfway to Death Valley, for one more bona fide piss water buzz, just a 5-mile drift off Route 180. Piedra is not a town if I died for. Here, existential blues have to track me down. They're as royal as thorns as are to coach whip. The barmaid swears she's been my smirk somewhere. May have thrown me out of some dive years back. I saw my beer glass is in denial. Nothing lit up that joint like her laughter. Her gaze was the sweetest faith ever lost. She could shame a ghost back into his tombs. I think she's seen every bit brittle disguise, heard every transplant and weak excuse, like why drunks would drown in Fresno Canal. I gave her my keys. She said, sleep it off, spare enough of your eyes to find a bed.
leave nothing but the weight of your shadow. That's Jeffrey Alter. I'm sorry, Alfier. Jeffrey Alfier, according to Diversion, page 23 of the Border Census, spring 2006, volume 11.
Awesome.
All right. Well, okay, I guess that is it for me for right now. 'Cause, okay, here it is. Read it and weep it. Y'all know what to do. Find me on Twitter and Instagram. Like my page on Facebook. Hashtag The Advance Weekly. Find Dan Advance Weekly on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. For those who forgot, you know what to do. Just screenshot this if you have to. Okay, well, let's go ahead and call it a night, Richie. Thank you. I'll see y'all next Monday.
All right. Thank you, Dan. You know what, man? What if I wanted to filibuster the night? You know, what if I just started reading? You're like, okay, fine, good idea.
I'm tired.
No, appreciate it, Dan. Thank you so much for reading that. Short and sweet. Shout out to Border Census. Of course, if you didn't know, Border Census is actually the nonprofit that we are involved with. We are one of several projects that Border Census offers to our communities here in the border. In addition to Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, we have a variety of writing workshops that are available to different demographics, including Forward, which is intended for students, teens, young college students. And then we also have Memorias de Silencio, which is offered to migrant workers and families of migrant workers. Shout out to the project directors there, John Nels running Forward, and Daniel Rios, who runs Memorias de Silencio. We got some things being cooked up right now at Border Census, trying to revamp the organization. We are a literary nonprofit, so if you guys are interested in checking out more, bordercensus.com, although I do believe that's going to be revamped pretty soon as well. Be on the lookout for that. So thanks for tuning in for another edition of our Stay at Home Open Mic. Shout out to everyone who tuned in at some point today. I know these can get kind of late, so it's nice when we can wrap up a little earlier. As always, though, we will keep the Zoom room open for those who just want to hang out, talk, maybe vent, ask opinions or questions. I don't know, just kind of a sounding board or as an opportunity to interact with people online. We'll be back next Monday with guest host Kit Wren. And as always, be on the lookout on our YouTube channel for the next videos that we post, including videos from live events, studio sessions, and of course, these online mics. As soon as I upload a video for the online mic, you can find the link to sign up in the description. And if I am ever late, you can just shoot me a message. You can find me on Instagram at Deadwall Reveries, or you can just message me at any of the Barbed Wire pages or social media, and I will be sure to get there as soon as possible. So if you're watching on YouTube and want to join and just hang out, you can still join us using the link in the description. You don't have to sign up to perform. The link is already there to join us. All right, so that's it for tonight. Shout out to everyone who read, and looking forward to more weeks to come. All right, for the live stream, peace. It's time to end it. See you guys later.